Hi, in this session I'm going to demonstrate the WM-QM interface, and we will do a simple inbound process with QM active. So let us see what are the settings that you need to understand to enable the WM-QM interface and how exactly the material is taken inside the warehouse when we have the QM active. Quality check in a warehouse. So quality inspection, QM-IM, is part of the quality management in SAP R3. So we know that QM is a module in itself. If a material is subject to regular quality checks in certain logistical process, add the quality management view in the material master. So there is a separate view called the QM view, which needs to be created or enabled in the material master. Here you can make settings that control the inspection procedure in detail. The inspection procedure is also relevant to WM. So basically, inspection procedure talks about how exactly we are going to check the quality of a particular material that is going to come in, whether we would want to do 100% inspection or we would want to do a sampling of the incoming material, whether the sample would be a fixed sample or a sample based on percentage of the total incoming material, and what attributes of the material we are going to check or scrutinize. The attributes could be physical attributes like color or conformance to certain specifications and so on. So we set up an inspection procedure with which methodically elaborate on what all to check, how to check, what are the attributes, and all that stuff. So we can make customization settings to allow the inspection related activities in WM. So let's say if your material is subjected to a quality inspection, you can decide how and you want to do the quality inspection, whether you want to take out a sample from the lot and do the inspection in the goods receipt area itself, or you would want to take it to a different room which is the quality room, and then you would want to do an inspection and so on. So you can in your integration with WM, you can decide how you would want to proceed with the goods receipt or the inbound of the material which is subject to quality management. We can decide based on inspection lot size how the sample is to be processed, whether the sample lot is to be moved to a different room for inspection, etc. The process of inspection and further usage decision is integrated in WM such that once a usage decision is posted in IM, a PCN is created in WM and the material can be released from queue status to UR stop. So this is due to the integration that normally when you post the usage decision for the material for the inspection lot, the usage decision is carried forward to the WM in form of a post change notice, and you can change the stock category depending on what the usage decision is. So what we see here is a basic inbound process when we have quality management in place. So what the example shows you that if you are having quality check implemented in your warehouse and you have certain setup that you would want to check a sample of 10% or maybe 10 fixed in a lot, then how typically this is handled in the warehouse. So here you have the goods receipts happening, and during the conversion of the goods of the transfer request to transfer order, you can control or customize the settings so that the system allows you to create two line items. One would go to the normal storage type, which is 90 pieces of going to normal storage type, and the 10 you can direct them to a quality inspection area. So the quality inspection storage type is generally 917, and you can move the material for quality inspection in storage type 917. So this is triggered due to the QM interface. So once you have the material master setup, and when you say post to inspection stock, the moment you do a goods receipt, the material while going into the warehouse is going to allow you to show up a pop-up which would allow you to break the material into two line items in the same transfer order. Depending in our settings, it may be foreground or background, and you can choose how you want to process the material. So the 90, let's say we are doing a goods receipt for 100 pieces, so the 90 that goes into the normal storage type would still have a status Q, and the 10, the sample lot that goes into the storage type 917 would have again the status Q. And further, once you post the goods, the user's decision in IAM, the status is going to change automatically. Next, this material over here is going to be into unrestricted. Say the goods, the user's decision is accepted, and this material here is also going to be unrestricted. Now, depending on how your client is going to process the inspection sample size, you can have this material also then moved to the storage type, which is normal storage type, or in some of the cases in destructive testing, this material is then not fit for use. So you have because you have done destructive testing. So it depends on how the inspection material is handled in your particular client. So this needs to be actually checked with the client how it is to be handled. But today we'll just demonstrate you a basic QM cycle and a QM interface, how to set up a QM interface such that you can see this particular cycle that you see on the screen in the system. So before we start checking the cycle in the system, a few important T codes and a few important master data that we would need to make to check the cycle are, like, we need to create a QM view in the material master. The T code is MM01. We need to create characteristics. The T code is QS21. We need to have sampling procedure in place. The T code is QDV1, and we would need to have an inspection plan. The T code is QP01. So this is a part of the master data that would be required to test the complete cycle. This is just for information, and if this is already available in your system, which is set up by say the QM person, then it is fine. I mean, we need not do anything from the master data perspective. But from a WM perspective, we would need to do some settings for setting up the QM WM interface. So let us check this in SPRO. So here I am in SPRO. We go to logistics execution, warehouse management interfaces, and then we have define quality management. So we start with define inspection sample control. So here I'm going to define it for my warehouse S01. So we can see that we have this sample in place. The sample QM sample, the QM control is QI. We need to remember this QI, or we can create the way we want. And the description is sample to inspection, and we are telling the system that this happens in 917 storage type and the inspection bin is qualitate. Then there are options how we want to handle the sample. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then stock transfer to inspection sample bin. So this is the most common and popular way of handling the inspection stock, but still I would say this depends on how your business would want to handle it. So we have multiple options. We can say sample remains in the GR zone, put away. I mean, this would be put away with normal storage in the normal way, or you just simply ignore. So we will select one, and then we have an option to select whether we would want to do it in the foreground or in the background. So I will choose foreground so that we are able to see this. So now we have done the sample processing and we have set the QM control. Save this. So defined storage type is the normal storage type that you would see when you set up the put away for the normal storage type. So it is the same where we set up the strategy. You see it here also. So if required, you can do any settings that are necessary. So at this time I am keeping it as is. My target is 015 because what the material I'm going to take, I would want to place it in 015, the normal material. So it has an indicator, storage type put away indicator as 015 already. So no changes here. And then we have the activate QM interim storage type search. So basically here we allocate the sample to inspection. So if I want to target the storage type indicator 015, I will allocate. Ideally, you would, depending on where all material you would want to receive or what all material coming in the storage types you would want to send to the sample to inspection, I'm going to, or you can choose to activate it here also. So at this time I am not activating anywhere else but for only in storage type 015. Also I will create one more entry with stock category Q, which I need to do it here. So you can see I have selected 015. I will copy this and I will make one entry queue. So making an entry queue enables the system to search for this particular line in case the stock that is coming into the warehouse is Q of the stock category Q. If we don't make this setting, then if the stock category is Q, then it won't find an entry where to put away the material. So basically you have to make separate entries for every stock category and storage type indicator combination that you think that you might come across with. So you can make a Q or you can make an S. Ideally you would need to make entries with all these in the respective storage type where you want to keep the material. So say for example you have returns coming in and the material stock type indicator is any one of these, and you would want to keep the returns material somewhere else in a return storage type. So in such cases you would create a storage type, say returns RET, and then you would say for example the storage type indicator is 015. So you would create a line saying for warehouse 0S01 put away indicator, if the storage type indicator is 015 and the stock category is R, and the first storage type to go is RET. So this way you can handle the different categories of stock and then direct the put away in a specific storage type. So right now I have done this setting just to make sure that the material which is in Q stock, or the stock status is Q, has a put away line or put away sequence ready. I'll save this. Now you can see, if I check, so I have this line also, and I will be sending this to QI sample inspection, and the first storage type that I have chosen is 015, or you can choose the way you want. But the idea is the sample should go to 917 and the remaining of the stock should go to 015. I will show you how to handle this. So we have set up the QM interface. So this is the WM-QM interface. Now let us see the master data. We will see the master data just so that we can, or you can test this example if you want. So I have a material already created, 3130Q. Let us see what we have in the QM view. I have the plant 1000, and the first time when you are setting up a QM view, you come to the QM view and you go to the inspection setup. In the inspection setup, these columns will be blank. You have to create an inspection type and select which inspection type you would want the material to be activated. Right now I'm going to demonstrate you for goods receipt without a purchase order, so that is with movement type 501. So that's why I have selected inspection type 05. If you want to do it for a goods receipt for a purchase order, you would select 1. Next, you make this active, and in this, initially when you make or create an inspection type, you won't see the fields over here. Here to save or hit enter, come out and then again go in, and then you will see these fields wherein you need to check the post to inspection stock and inspection with task list, automatic assignment, and check characteristics. So this is for the example that I am going to show you. The rest, this could be kept blank. Save this. Now we need to create certain master data. So what we need to create is the inspection plan. But to create the inspection plan, you need to have the characteristics and the sampling procedure in place. So let us start with creating the characteristics and then the sampling procedure, and let us see how we set that in the inspection plan, and then we do the inbound side. So first I will create a characteristics. So I have already created a characteristics. The T code is QS21, but I will go in QS22. My characteristics is test 1. So basically these are the important fields that you should know. You go for qualitative characteristics, which means that we are basically interested in checking the quality based on certain parameter. Maybe you would want to check the aesthetic specifications or the color or whatever are the qualitative parts. So what I am doing is I am choosing the qualitative characteristic, and the short text I have entered color conformance, and in search field enter the color characteristic. Next we need to give the control indicators. So the sequence is important. In control indicators, I've already set this. You need to have the characteristic attribute checked, sampling procedure checked, summarizing record and required characteristics. So once you continue, you will have another pop-up. Go for fixed scope check, documentation confirmation no documentation, scrap share, and go for print. After this, create the catalog. In the catalog, you would give the actual characteristic of this has been already created, and this would be taken care by the QM. So choose the characteristic. I chose the color, and I am done with the master inspection characteristics. So this is just the basic master data that I'm showing. I'm not going too much into detail on the QM part, but we will focus on the WM part. So the characteristics is ready. The name is TAST1. Let us have the sampling procedure. The T code is QDV1, but I have already created a sampling procedure, so I will just show you with QDV2. So while creating a sampling procedure, you give the name of your choice. I have given test Q1. Sampling type is fixed sample and valuation according to characteristics attribute code. So this is important. Then inspection point, select without inspection points. Next. These are all grayed out, so the most important is given your sample size. So I have chosen a sample size of 5 for a sampling procedure test Q1. So this means that this is a fixed sample, and regardless of how much quantity you are getting into the goods receipts area, the sample size would be 5. You can change the sample size to a figure of your choice. I am selecting 5. And I am done. Next, now we have the characteristics and the sampling procedure in place. Now we need to have the inspection plan set up. So I will just show you the inspection plan already in place for 3130Q. So to start with, we have to give the control key. Choose QM01. This is a standard key supplied by SAP. Once you give the control key QM01, hit enter and then select this line and go for inspection characteristics. In the inspection characteristics, you have to give the master inspection characteristics that you have just created. After you give master inspection characteristics, hit enter and go for sample. In the sample tab, you enter the sampling procedure you have just created, test Q1, and let everything else remain the same. So once you have done this, so you can see the sampling procedure here and the master inspection procedure here. Then go to the task list header, and here you have to choose the usage, goods receipt, and status as released. Now let us see a simple inbound cycle with QM Act. I will receive the material without a reference document with the transaction MB1C, movement type 501. I want to receive a quantity of 300. Everything is okay. Before that, let us just check the stock so that we can make the difference once we have received the material in the warehouse. I will use a transaction LS26. So we have 1500 quantity pieces available in 015. So this is the stock status as of now. So let us post this material. So once we post this material document, the system is going to take us to a transfer order creation screen. In the transfer order creation screen, what we expect is that due to the quality interface that we have set up, we would get an opportunity to set up or send the material to the inspection bin as per the sampling plan. So I am posting this. So I am here at the transfer order creation for material document screen, and the preparation for quality inspection has already begun in the background. So now we can see that this is an additional pop-up that we have got. Now this is because of the QM interface active, and because the QM interface active, now the sampling and the sampling procedure that we have set up, we are seeing the sample quantity as 5, and this is the sample quantity which is now going to go into the storage type 917, which we have set up in the QM interface, and the inspection bin this. So once we start preparation of this transfer order, we would be seeing 2 line items being created. One is one which will go to 917 of 5 quantity, which is the sample and the inspection lot, and the other lot would go to the normal bin in 015 storage type, and both will be having the stock category Q, and it would wait for the user's decision. So let us see. So now 5 quantity has already gone in quality. Now remaining 295 needs to go So the 215 is now being sent to the normal bin. So basically this is the crux of having the QM interface in place. So once we have this WM-QM interface, this is how the material is going to be handled. So 5 has gone into the storage type 917 because of the QM interface that we have set up, and the quantity 5 is taken out of the lot because of the inspection plan that we have set up. So once I post this, the transfer order is created, and I need to confirm this transfer order. But till then, let us see the stock. So we can see that out of the 300 that was posted due to the material doc, it has been split into 295 going into 015 storage type as Q stock, and 5 going into 917 as quality inspection stock. So I will confirm this transfer order, and without any changes I just post this, and you can see 295 in Q stock in 015 and 5 in 917 in Q stock. Next, to complete the procedure, we need to do the usage decision. So let us do the usage decision. To do the usage decision, you need to know the inspection lot number, and you can find the inspection lot number from the material document. I go to MIGO, and I display this material document, and I find the inspection lot here. Now I need to do the usage decision for this. The transaction for usage decision is QA11. The lot is available here already. So this is the screen for usage decision. I can go to the inspection lot stock now. Now this shows me to be posted. So this is the entire quantity that is to be posted. I say post 300, and this warning is we need to post an user's decision over here first and then go here. So I post the user's decision accepted 8. So which is fine. I choose accept and then inspection log. Then here I need to give 300. So once I have posted the user's decision, I save it. So once this is saved, depending on our config settings for the movement type 321, a post change notification would be created, and if our config says that create the transfer order immediately, then the stock would be seen as posted in the unrestricted stock. So just let us have a look at the stock. So here we can see that the posting change has been created, but it hasn't been posted. So we will pick this posting change and then convert it into a transfer order, so that now we can see how the things. To pick the posting change, use the transaction LU04. As in one of my earlier sessions, I said that if there is a chance that the system doesn't know from where to pick the material, then it would not process the posting change automatically, even though you have made a setting in customization that create a transfer order immediately. So the reason why this doesn't post immediately is that you have split the material into two different bins. One is in the 917 and other is in the 015. That's the reason the system will not process that post change automatically and create a transfer order. So once we try to do it manually, we will realize that the system is actually in a dilemma from where and which bin to pick how much. But as we know that we are going to post an entire lot of 300, we have selected and given the 300, 295 plus 5, and we are going to process this into transfer order. So once we post this, a transfer order is going to be created automatically, and if we look at this transfer order with LT21, we will see that we have these two line items to be confirmed. But this depends on the setting that we have maintained. I will just confirm this transfer order. There are two line items, one in 015 and one in 917, and the second line item that we see is characteristics of post change notice, that you would always see the material temporarily going in 922 and then coming back to the same source storage type and bin. I post this and let us see the stock now. So we have 5 in 917 and the 3 and the 295 has merged in the 1500 that we saw earlier. So now we have the stock as unrestricted stock, and based on the process that your client is following, you might bring this stock in 917 into the normal 015 bin if it has followed a non-destructive testing, so that the entire stock is available over here. So this is basically how we set up the WMQM interface, and this is how the quality check in a warehouse is set up.